open up that Crystal Pepsi and get comfortable.
This is Dope Nostalgia.
Welcome so much, everybody, to another episode of Dope Nostalgia. And as always, I'm your host, Naomi. Today's special guest, her name is Lindsay, and she has a really cool TikTok channel. It's called Nostalgia Canadiana. And you can find it at Canadian Nostalgia on TikTok. 84K followers, 2.1 million likes, and she's posting memories, stuff she finds on VHS tapes. Duh. And she found some really cool gems from the past and shares them on her TikTok channel. Now, I approached her for an interview saying it'd be fun for us to do an episode together. What do you want to talk about? Any artists you want to mention or do a show about? And she asked me if I heard of Kideo. Kideo is Kids Can Rock and Roll, which was a children's television program. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. And I'm pretty sure it was exclusive to Canada. So I do apologize to our American listeners who may not have heard of it before, but a bunch of us Canadians have never heard of it before either. So what I really want to hear this week is if you knew about Kideo, you watched it, you were a fan, whatever, get to us, give us a call or, tell us more about your fandom of Kideo when you were a kid. Okay, so our phone number, by the way, leave a toll-free message. You can call 1-888-741-9192 and tell us about your Kideo experience. Damn it, just call me about anything. Leave me a message. We haven't had much messages yet, and it's free to call, toll-free. Back in the old days, we leave messages on our friends' answering machines. That's all I want, to hear from you guys. And so leading up to this, I'm going to give you a little bit of background information on Kideo, and we'll get right into the interview.
Wikipedia moment.
Please bear in mind that Wikipedia is not to be taken as actual 100% fact. Any donkey could edit it at any time. If I'm reading you the artist's bio, that stuff is real truth.
Kideo TV, or Kids Can Rock and Roll, is a children's television program that aired from 1993 to 1996 in Canada. It was produced by Children's Hour Productions. The series later aired on the YTV Children's Cable Channel in 1997. The show featured the rock band Kideo, which consisted of Buddy Goodfellow on bass, Ace Manners on guitar, and PJ Styles on drums, with all three members contributing vocals. Each band member had a signature color. Goodfellow was green, Manners was blue, and Styles was red. These colors were reflected in their clothing, hair, masks, and face makeup. Each episode featured 4 original rock songs for kids, including a live concert video. The band members also performed various activities with the intent of teaching the young viewers certain moral lessons. Additional segments in the show included aerobic rock, Kideo iView movies, and fan mail. They released 3 albums entitled Kids Can Rock and Roll in 1986, In a World of Black and White in 1989, and The Name of the Game in 1993. They also released 2 videos, Kideo in Concert and a Kideo puppet video entitled The Perpetual World of Rock and Roll. Both videos feature songs and scenes from the TV series. The show was also broadcast in 23 different foreign territories, so there's a chance, even if you aren't a Canadian, that you might have checked out Kideo at some point. I want to welcome my special guest today, who is the owner of the TikTok channel Nostalgia Canadiana. Welcome, Lindsay, to Dope Nostalgia. Well, we'll start by saying welcome, Lindsay, to Dope Nostalgia for the first time.
Thank you for having me.
Where are you based out of?
I live in London, Ontario.
So I discovered you and your TikTok, which is called Nostalgia Canadiana. And you're doing exceptionally well on TikTok right now with over 84,000 followers and millions of likes. So when did this start? When did you start doing the TikTok? What inspired you to make this TikTok channel?
I think I started it around November of 2020, and I was just getting bored in the house, as we all were around that time.
Mhm.
And maybe I was feeling a bit more nostalgic. And I remember I just was watching all these old commercial compilations
Mhm.
online, and I was like, oh, some of these, like, they really do something to my memory. Like, I wonder if other people would remember it too. So I just posted a couple, and yeah, quite like recent, frequently they were going off. So
Mhm.
right away. So uh, it was good. And I guess it's been 4 years, so I've kind of gradually grown, but that's okay because I feel like it's a good community and I've made a lot of good mutual friends,
Mhm.
like John that you had on
John
a few
G. John
years
Gordon.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I love his social media. It's great.
yeah, me too. He's really good. He should be on TV or have something big because he's so good at interviewing.
Yes.
He's
Very
like
good.
he's like the guy from Hot Ones, I feel like.
With his
Scott,
questions too, because they're interesting. They're not just like the
yeah,
same old thing that people hear all the time.
I
How'd you get
agree.
started? Wait, I just asked you that question, but but when it's a really well-established musician, that's a question I don't like to ask. When if you can like Google the information, why would you ask the question? That's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, I can understand that. I know. So I was listening to his and I'm like, oh, he's so good. And I'm so not good on interviews, but that's okay.
No, it's totally okay. But yeah, John's been on the show a few times now, and I'm a big fan of what he does. So he was just at the Junos this weekend.
Yeah, I saw that. A couple people on my TikTok I saw were there, and that's really great for them that they got to go out there because I don't think some of them have been out east yet. So it's nice they get to go and witness
Very
all
cool.
that.
I'm perusing your TikTok as we speak because there's certain clips that will bring back memories for everybody. I'll make sure that all of you guys get the links to check out Nostalgia Canadiana. And if you're not a follower already, please do subscribe. It's really cool. Like here's you got Mike Bullard, the goaltending in basketball. Mike Bullard's show used to be a thing.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact, Mike Bullard went to my high school. Like, not
Yeah.
when I went, after.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
grew up
he's
in
a fair bit
Cambridge.
older than you.
Yeah, I grew up in Cambridge, and so did he. He might
Cool.
still live there. He lived there when the show was on and whatnot. But yeah, he's an alumni at the same high school as me.
Yes. Oh
But
man, this
yeah,
is good. This is
yeah,
really good. Like you've
I-
got Sleep Country. Here's one of those jingles that we all know in Canada. Sleep Country, Canada. Why buy a mattress anywhere else?
ding.
So
Yeah, that's
good.
now I try to digitize my own tapes. Like when I started, I
Yeah.
was just kind of screen recording ones from YouTube and whatnot. But now I actually have my own VHS tapes that I seek out and
I was
digitize all the stuff myself. So
I was wondering what kind of VHS collection you had or and still currently have. How many VHS tapes do you think you have?
probably at least 200, just like blank ones with stuff recorded off TV. Because I have
Mhm.
all the ones from my grandpa's house when he moved into a home. Those were the first ones. Uh,
Mhm.
sort of had. And then I have a few from my mom's house. And then I started seeking them out at garage sales or
Oh, nice.
eBay. You can sometimes find them. Um, but it's like a lottery with what's on them. Because even when it's written, I've had 3 different ones, Much Music Video Awards. And I'm like, yes, gold mine. And someone's dad tapes over it with hockey. Every time
Oh,
it's someone's dad tapes over it with hockey.
well, my mom would tape over it with
which
soap operas.
which luckily at least I can still get some of the commercials off.
Mhm.
the broadcast sometimes, but the Much Music Video Award, like Much Music, YTV, anything like that is
Mm.
so hard to find.
It's incredible when you can find these old videos. I probably have about 50 VHSs that I still have to encode to digital. Now I have a little box to do it, but the problem is, so I set it in a VCR and
Yeah.
then hook it up to the computer. But the problem I'm finding is tracking. I'm having
Yeah.
the hardest time figuring out how to get rid of the tracking lines. And it's like, because remember, we could record back in like 3 speeds. It was EP, LP, and SP. And if you wanted a really long tape, a 6 hour tape, you would record an EP, but the quality was really bad.
Yeah, that's probably the hardest part because I
Mm.
guess you need something that has, like, I think it's called a time-based converter. And
Oh,
some really old VCRs have them, but those are the VCRs that will go for $2,000-3,000 because
seriously. I didn't know that
digitize.
existed.
Yeah, they used to sell standalone boxes, but those are basically impossible to find. I've heard there's this
Oh,
company called RetroTink that makes some sort of box, and it's supposed to be for video games, but someone in the digitizing community has figured out, I don't know if it's a fluke, that it does that function, but
really?
it's too expensive of an investment for me at this
Yeah.
point. But someday.
I want to hold on to these tapes before they crumble into dust and get it done properly because some of them
Yeah.
the only problem is I can't get rid of the tracking lines. And so you can't really see what it is. And it's frustrating. Like, when things are too fuzzy and then the screen goes blue
Oh yeah.
on a VCR. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you're like, well, I'm just recording a crap. It doesn't work.
Yeah, some of mine are like that, and I have two different VCRs, and one of them plays a little bit better, but I haven't had very much luck with that. Like now I use like a standalone recorder, so you don't have to plug it into the computer. It's actually pretty handy. So it's like a little screen and you can put your memory card or whatever and you
Okay.
just record it onto that. But the quality is still not the best.
Yeah.
And it only records the audio on one side. So I always have to fill
Oh.
audio, which I just learned how to do for a year. They only had one side audio, and I'd always get comments. I love hearing this in my
Yeah.
left ear. And I'm like, it's better than nothing.
That's exactly what happened to me doing research for this episode because I was looking at a YouTube video of Kideo and I'm like, are my headphones broken? Is it what? Like it was
Oh,
only in one side, but that
yeah.
makes sense because that's the problem.
Speaking of things that I would love to find to digitize, like there
Mhm.
is no episodes of that TV show online anywhere. There's
That's
that
crazy.
concert. There's a clip from that Canada's Wonderland, which I do have that VHS
Hmm.
tape that I recently found it on Poshmark. It's like YTV Festival of Friends,
Oh, cool.
but that's the
Yeah.
only VHS I have with anything of them on it,
I'm
and it's
still like, I'm still going through your videos here. I see you posted one a year ago of American Juniors in 2003, the show that rap
oh
was
yeah.
the sequel to American Idol. And I remember it because Jordan Knight was a judge.
Oh yeah, you're a big New Kids on the Block fan, right?
Yeah, I'm
I do
like
know
pretty
that.
obsessed with Jordan Knight. So that was
Oh,
really awesome.
my first tape that I had when I was little was New Kids on the Block, but
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit younger
You're younger than me. So
than like, yeah.
were you into Backstreet and NSYNC?
I was more, yeah, Backstreet and NSYNC. Like I was born in like the late 80s.
Yeah. Oh, that
So,
totally makes sense. Yeah.
but I did have a tape. I can say it was my first tape, even if I didn't purchase it myself.
Hmm.
Wanted me to like New Kids.
Yeah, so this is really amazing. We'll post the link for everybody to check out all these videos that you've collected and put up on TikTok. And you're doing so well with it. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, Swiss Chalet commercial. I still love Swiss Chalet. I wonder if that's just in Canada.
I think it is. They might have a few, like how Tim Hortons has a few
Hmm.
states, but if they do, I don't think it's caught on. Because I don't
Well,
think they have it in parts of Canada, if I'm remembering
yeah.
correctly.
Yeah, this country's so big that like there's certain restaurants or stores that are only on one part of Canada, like regional. Because, for instance,
Yeah.
like pizza, we don't have that in Western Canada. We have Pizza 73,
Oh, really? Well,
and it's owned by the same
you're
company.
not not missing out on much, but their garlic sauce is good.
Yeah.
But um, that is interesting, though. Is it the same chain, do you think, with a different name?
Well, Pizza 73 started in Edmonton, locally, and then as the company grew and expanded, I think what happened was Pizza bought Pizza 73, so now they are under the same brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
So,
so we're like the Western version.
uh,
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah. So what's been some of the favorite posts that you've made so far and most successful posts for you?
I think the video that I got the most views on was when I randomly posted that song. What's it called? The graduation song, and he's talking about sunscreen.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Is that Baz Luhrmann?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
That video, which is weird because I don't think it's the only time I ever posted a music video on my page, but it is nostalgic.
Very.
But yeah, I think that was probably the highest viewed. And then the second was um the McCain microwavable like burgers and fries and milkshakes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Micro
Is that what that little boy who's sitting there with the glasses on with he's dipping his fries in the ketchup?
No, that was just McCain super fries.
Okay.
Joey, I think his name was Jay, you know Jay. And then they had another one with him when he was older, and then we found out that it wasn't really him, it was just some other actor that they
Aw.
hired to play him. Like that was such a we don't trust anyone after that.
No. They lied to us.
Yeah, we were like, Jay.
It was heartwarming until he found out it was a lie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know where the real Jay is, but oh, they were like microwave. They were just microwave burgers, fries. The milkshakes were the weirdest part, I think.
Really? Did they even get frozen or was it just like flavored milk?
I'm honestly have no idea. I don't think I ever tried it. I don't
Me
remember them
neither.
eating.
Nope,
It might
not for
have
me.
been a very brief thing, but the mom's like, dinner's ready, and then the kid jumps on his bike and he drives home, and mom presents the microwavable meals. And ironically, the woman that plays the mom in the commercial is one of the moms from Degrassi.
Oh, really?
Melanie. Yeah.
Melanie's mom. That's
Yeah,
cool.
that she steals $20 from. And I guess that's why she couldn't afford to not buy the microwavable meals. Maybe.
Oh. Well, once I discovered your TikTok, and then I thought you're going to be an amazing guest to have on here. So we do the brainstorming. I'm like, who do you want to talk about? And this is the very first time that someone has brought one to me that I've never heard of. Never, ever saw it, never heard of it. And I think it's because of the age I was at when it was out. I was
Yeah.
already pretty much an adult.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make sense then.
Yeah. So we're talking about Kideo today. And Kideo had a television program called Kids Can Rock and Roll.
Yes. And there was, I guess in the States, there was also Kideo TV with cartoon blocks, and it gets mixed up with that. Sometimes if
Oh,
you just search Kideo, you're going to get a lot of that,
Mm-hmm.
which also makes it harder to find stuff about them. Because,
Oh,
yeah, they're quite
absolutely.
elusive even today.
Yeah, so Kids Can Rock and Roll was a children's television program that aired from 1993 to 1996 in Canada, produced by Children's Hour Productions, and the series later aired on YTV, which was our big. YTV is our Nickelodeon. Is our
Yeah.
Nickelodeon. So it aired on there in 97. Yeah, and I was an adult by 97, so.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But that's why I totally missed it.
I think their albums did come out in the 80s, but if you might have still not listened to them, because I have
Nope.
no idea, because I wasn't alive yet. They may
Mhm.
not have had much success when they were just releasing the music.
Mhm.
It seems like it was the TV show that sort of made them a household name.
Now, if they were a household name, how did they get your attention and how old were you when you found them?
It's like one of my earliest memories. Like, it's one of those things that when I first started venturing into the nostalgia land, like, I don't even think I remembered what they were called at that point. I just knew I really wanted to find that show that I used to watch
Mhm.
with the guys with the hair. And quite quickly I found it, because even if you, like, I've noticed on Reddit, if you search like Kideo, Kids Can Rock and Roll, it's almost about 2-3 times a year that someone is like, what was that thing? I don't know if it's the primary colors that really stick in our brains from
Mhm.
such a young age that remembers it, but I remember asking my mom to tape it for me, and I just remember loving the TV show specifically.
Mhm.
Um,
And to elaborate on what you were saying about the colors and primary colors, there was three members, and each of them were a signature color. One was green, one was blue, and one was red. And they wore these big, huge, like rock star 80s rock star glam type wigs in that color. And then they had these masks over their eyes that were the same color.
mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and they also had the there's no video proof of it existing, and I have found through my research that it was one video they put out near the end called "The Puppetry of Rock and Roll," and people will say, "Wasn't there puppets?" I remember there being puppets,
Okay.
and I'm not sure if it was also in the TV show or only in this one video that they put out, where there was, like, they were, I think, sock puppet versions of them, or styrofoam, and they
Not
had
a,
metallic wigs, like, made of tinsel,
oh,
the puppets. And anytime I post something about them, people will be like, "What's their puppet? Do I remember the puppets?"
I want to see a picture of the puppets.
Yeah, they're. I can't find one. I would love to see one too.
That's
Oh,
frustrating because usually we can find every childhood memory on the internet somewhere. If we Google it, we can find it. And when you can't, it's like, but I didn't make this up.
oh, I know. It's crazy to think, like, somebody out there must have this video or videos that haven't been digitized, or it's just sitting in their parents' basement,
They
or
did have two videos released, according to Wikipedia. Kideo in concert, which is on YouTube,
yeah, that one is on YouTube.
and a Kideo puppet video entitled
Yeah.
"The Perpetual World of Rock and Roll."
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Perpetual.
Yeah. That
So
so we have proof that the
this
puppets
is real.
exist. Yes.
Someone's got that VHS tape somewhere hidden in their home. Maybe they'll be listening to this and they can
Yeah.
digitalize it.
Yeah. Maybe I can do, I don't know if you've seen the thing going on with Reboot, where they're trying to digitize the master tapes. These two people have found them, and I guess they're making a whole documentary about it.
Mhm.
And they've got a lot of help just from putting it out there on social media.
Mhm.
So I should do that with Kideo.
Why not? I would say go for it. Apparently, this show was broadcast in 23 different foreign territories. When they say foreign territories, does that mean that it was international? Because that foreign has to mean not Canadian, right?
Yeah, that's very interesting. So people in other countries might have copies of it too.
Mm-hmm. So, listeners, seriously, if you're out there and you remember Kideo, let's see the goods. What do you got?
Yeah, we need footage of the puppets.
We do. I definitely want to find a picture. Maybe by the time this airs, we will have found a picture, but we'll see. We'll hold on to hope.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hi. If you enjoy Dope Nostalgia, thank you. Consider becoming a Patreon subscriber today for as little as $1 a month. It helps keep the show on the air and rolling. So if you want to check out our Patreon, it's at patreon.com/dope nostalgia. $1 a month, and you'll be helping support one of your favorite podcasts.
Oh, hi, it's Zach Peter, your new favorite pop culture guru, serving you the hottest tea 3 times a week. From the latest news on the Real Housewives, deep dives into celebrity legal scandals, unfiltered combos with your favorite stars, and of course, the latest from Vanderpump Land, I've got you covered. And new episodes of the podcast are now available in video on Spotify. And they don't just let anybody do video, but this Platinum Blonde has won them over. So if you want the latest news from the ultimate tea-spilling professional, tune in to No Filter with Zach Peter. That's No Filter with Zach Peter on your favorite podcast app now.
Hi, I'm Bob McDonald. I'd like to show you my invisible fire extinguisher. Magic? Nope, it's just good science. The kind of science that we do on Wonderstruck every Saturday on CBC.
The members, but I love the band names. Okay. Buddy Goodfellow was the bass player.
Yeah.
Ace Manners on guitar. What a great name. Ace Manners.
Yeah.
And PJ Styles on the drums. And they all sang.
Yeah. My husband actually is a drummer who sings, and he was saying he said I should stop telling people that my influence is the guy from Under Oath, because it's PJ Styles too. Because he's like, oh yeah, I forgot he was a singing drummer. So
that's cool. Oh man. So is your husband, we should plug his band. Are they doing covers or originals?
They do originals. He's in 2 bands. He's in a band called The Northern, based out of Toronto, and he's also in a band called Dead Days, based out of here in London. But they're both metal bands.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
But,
awesome. So you play a double kick? You play the double kick?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure, to be honest. It's
that's cool.
For heavy metal. Like, there's like singing. One of them has like singing in it too. He does the clean singing parts, and then they have screaming too. But then the other one is more heavy.
Well, these guys were definitely clean singers. Let me tell you, Kideo. I listened to some of the songs, and it's very pop rock, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not super heavy, and it's super kid friendly. Obviously, I loved this. Let me see this here. Each episode featured 4 original rock songs for kids. So all the songs were songs they wrote.
Yep. They wrote their own music, played their own instruments. So they were a real band.
They perform various activities with the intent of teaching young viewers certain moral lessons, which is very cute. I love that. They had some segments in their show, aerobic rock, Kideo iView movies, and fan mail. I think that they were pretty big.
Yeah, and interestingly, there's certain episode descriptions on Google, but no episodes. And that's very unusual when there is no video to go with the description, because I'm curious to know where the episode descriptions are coming from when you can't find it anywhere else.
They have this information, but we can't see it anywhere. I getcha. Well, you were correct when you were saying that they actually were the band before the TV show. Back in 86, they've had 2 albums, 86 and 89. So the first album was Kids Can Rock and Roll. And then the second album was called In a World of Black and White. That came out in 89.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with that album as much. I think there's one song you can hear on the one website.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that first album was the one with the biggest songs, like that they later still played at all the concerts throughout the 90s. I found this old dead like Angel Forum website of people talking about them, but the last post was in 2007, I think. And this girl says that she saw them in concert as late as, I think she said January 1999. She saw them in concert, which I was surprised by.
Yeah, apparently they were playing schools and such, weren't they?
Yeah, they never came to my school. Bummer. But I do get a lot of comments if I post anything about them, and people saying that they saw them, that was their first concert.
Was it out east? Was it mostly out in your area, like out in Toronto area?
It sounds like it was mostly, in the GTA. At malls, a lot at malls. The CNE, you can find the 1-year schedule. I think it's 1990, and they were playing like 3 times a day on the kids' stage.
Yeah.
So I could see how a lot of kids would have seen them there the first time if they were playing 3 times a day.
I wonder how much, like, obviously YTV was straight across the country. So by the time the TV show came out coast to coast, kids would have known the show. Because I was going to say maybe this is a regional thing and that's why I hadn't heard of it. But I think that's really what it was, is that they were probably doing all their performances in the late 80s, early 90s out around Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe that's what it was. Because I remember it being on Global. Like, I remember watching it on Global, specifically on Saturday mornings. And I know that it did air later on YTV reruns. I just don't really remember. I probably didn't watch it anymore by then, because I would have been 10.
Yeah.
8, 10 by then. So I wouldn't have had interest in that anymore.
We should try to get a hold of the members and get them to come on the show, and you can join me and talk to them.
I know, that would be awesome. I remember reading an article, and I can't find this article. It's my own fever dream. Did I imagine this article now? Because I swear I read this article where the person said that they did try to reach out to them and that they still didn't really want people to know who they were, but it's very easy to find out who specifically 2 of them are. The third person, not so much, but I figured it out through Facebook. Facebook, our generation's very good at Facebook. You know what I mean?
We can find everyone we went to high school with,
but it would be awesome. I think that we should, because I'm not going to be the one to quote dox them after all these years, even though you can find it online. But if any of them would be willing to, it'd be awesome.
Absolutely. We could always reach out. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, because I don't see why you wouldn't want to, own that. There's nothing problematic. They were such good influences. Like even the name Ace Manners is teaching kids manners.
Yep.
Children's
entertainers are such a rare breed because they're so special and important, because it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, the kid in them is still alive, and they can get down with the level of children and help them understand and grow. And I think it takes a very, very special and talented person to do that. So I think they should definitely be proud.
Yeah, for sure. And from what I see, like, unlike for example, how you guys want to talk to B44 and they're not in music anymore. Like, it seems like all of these people are still in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them are, so
good. And that might not be too hard. We could try. I'm looking at the track listing of the 1989 album, In a World of Black and White, and I'm getting a kick out of the album titles because right off the bat, you would not know these were children's songs. Some of them, like there's In the Future, Tomfoolery, Strike 3, From a Whisper to a Scream, Lucky 7. But then there's titles like It's a It's a Parent to a Parent.
Yeah, that I'm not too familiar with those songs on that album, and I'm not sure how to listen to them. But where did I wrote it on my little paper here. Oh yes, I found this random right at the end of my digging. I was like, there's my random fun fact I found. So the Blue Jays, the former Blue Jays pitcher, what's his name? Dave Stieb or Stieb, I'm not sure how to pronounce it because I'm not a big baseball fan. I guess he did guitar for the song Strike 3.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that's the only, like, he wanted to somehow get into being a musician, and the one guy in Rush had something to do with some of these albums because there's a picture with him. I don't know if you came across in the studio.
No, I haven't seen that.
What's his name?
I'm doing a Google image search. Could it be Geddy Lee?
Yes, it was. It's him, and they're in like a studio, and then he's got the 3 members of Kideo around him. And I guess the connection, I don't know what his connection with them are, but that's how this former Jays pitcher got to do the guitar on that one song.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to search Kids Can Rock and Roll, and maybe I'll find it that way.
Yeah, some of the links I had to put into Internet Archive and everything.
There is a photo of the 3 of them with the Jays pitcher, that in black and white I found.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, but that's what I got when I searched Kids Can Rock and Roll. But anyways, I was going to share with you, I was going to share screen here because I wanted to watch just a short clip with you and play it for our listeners that I found on YouTube that I thought was really fun. Kideo in Concert. This is part of that original VHS, and this segment is called Puns and Dad Jokes. So this is probably like all the funny in between stuff that they said that was like, oh my goodness, really? Have you seen this video?
I think a long time ago, but not recently.
Okay, well, let's check it out.
Okay.
Uh-oh. I was going to ask you to give me a hand with something, Ace, but I can see you've got other problems to tangle with. I guess I should be more careful when I wrap things up.
Pardon me, Ace, did you say wrap things up? I don't think that's a very good idea. We just got started.
Oh, I'm afraid you misunderstand, my good fellow. I didn't mean wrap things up as in bring things to a close. I meant wrap things up as in I'll wrap up my cables more neatly from now on. Thank you very much.
Oh, now I get it.
I guess you could say Buddy's a little green at this, Ace. You could say that, PJ.
Yeah, but I wish he hadn't.
Well, hello there, my friends.
Perfect.
As you can see, I've just taken my guitar out of its case. You're more than welcome to string along for a look at it, if you please. Along the way, we're going to go across a series of tiny metal bars called frets. Frets. But that doesn't mean you have to worry about them. At the other end, they cross over another metal. It's called the bridge. So I guess you could say they'll cross that bridge when they come to it. Gentlemen, I believe we could all do with a little break, if you please.
Great idea, Ace. We wouldn't want our kitty overdo it. Oh, hi there. Well, here it is, kids. My stylish drum kit. Let me tell you a little bit about it.
That's a great
These
drum
drums
kit.
in a row are called tom-toms. There's rack toms, mounted toms, and floor toms. You know, you could say that I use those for playing a little tomfoolery. You could say that, but even I wish I hadn't.
Oh, that's
and the drums
so
on the
good.
floor with the foot pedal, they're the bass drum. You could say that this is first base and that this is second base. But between you and me, let's leave the baseball jokes to Ace. And the cymbals, let's just say I use those for playing something really symbolic.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Hi there. You're just in time to watch me tune my bass. Feel free to take note. All right. Now, the first thing I do is play an open string and turn the tuning key until the little meter points straight up. That means that the string's in tune. That's basic, isn't it? Get it? Basic.
Oh my goodness. That is so.
I just want you guys to know
Sorry,
that he.
I'll just exit out of that. But that is so funny. It makes me wonder too, like, these guys are obviously good musicians. That's the cool thing too. They're actually very strong musicians. What other kind of musics I wonder they were playing? I wonder if they've been in bands and we just didn't know.
Yeah, one of them definitely was. Apparently, there was a rumor that this is not true, obviously, but I'm not sure if it was a bit of older kids at the time, but my husband verifies that he also thought that they were actually the band, the President of the United States, like undercover. Like, for whatever reason, they thought there was similarities in the sound, or I have no idea why people thought that, but that's funny to think about.
No doubt. Yeah. Especially when they're Canadian. And it almost be like, doing the presidents of the US, like a spoof.
That'd be very ironic, but no, they're definitely Canadian.
No. So is there anything else you'd like to mention about them before we wrap things up?
Oh yeah, just one thing. Do you think that there was any inspiration of the band the Doodle Bops from that?
I don't know the Doodle Bops.
Yeah, me neither, really, because it was a bit beyond my time. But everyone always says, oh, rip off Doodle Bops, rip off Doodle Bops. But the Doodle Bops didn't come around till 2004. And if you look at the ages of the members, they're a couple of years older than me, and they're Canadian.
Okay, I just Googled them. Let's see what they look like.
So I think, and others think, that they were maybe inspired by them.
Probably. I wouldn't see
others, but I don't think they look that similar.
What is that other? There's another, like, thing. They're big in the US too. There's like a kids group that are in these big bright colors too.
The Wiggles?
The Wiggles. Yes.
Yeah, it is interesting because now there's so many groups that use the primary colors. I've seen the Wiggles live twice with my kids, but never got to see Kideo.
But they must have brought back some memories going to see the Wiggles, and that maybe reminded you of it, hey?
Oh yeah, they were great. I like some of their songs. For sure, the fruit salad one is fun. And I got to see them before they switched all the members. I don't know who the members are now, even.
Oh, wow. I didn't know anything like that. Well, I guess the Wiggles got started in 91, so it would make sense that if there's still a thing to this day that it would get switched up, right?
Yeah, maybe they were inspired by them too. Who knows?
And the Wiggles is Australian, right? Oh, they're Australian. I thought they were American. Okay.
Oh, I think they're just big, I think, all over the world.
I've heard of these things, but like I'm a 45-year-old and I don't have children, so I don't get to see all the new kids stuff that's going on. I just kind of remember what we watched, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's understandable. I was out of touch with it for a while too, and now I have to be in touch with it again because my kids, but they're past that now. They're Fortnite and YouTube.
V-Bucks. Paying for V-Bucks.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, Lindsay. I hope you had fun too.
Thank you. I did. Thank you for having me. And I definitely think that we should try to keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, we gotta find these guys.
Yeah, but like I said, if I guess for whatever reason they don't want to, then that's fine too. But lots of people, I get such a reaction every time I post them. Like, I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that. I forgot all that,
Yes.
I remember the name of that. So I think people would love it.
I think they will. And I'm really excited to see the reaction to this episode, to see what people have to say who remember. That's always a fun part of doing the show, is jogging everyone's memories and going down nostalgia memory lane with them, right? I love that.
At least one person, you'll unlock the memory.
Are you on Instagram as well as TikTok?
I am, but I really don't post on there very much. It's the same. My stuff is the same everywhere. I post longer videos on YouTube, like usually more of the raw stuff that I'm uploading.
Where can we find you on YouTube? I'm going to subscribe to you.
It's this. I think it's the
same name.
Yeah, I'm the same everywhere.
Okay, perfect. I'll find you.
Type in Nostalgia Canadian, it will come up.
Okay, there it is. Perfect. I was wondering if you on Instagram know of the account called the Edison Twins.
I know the show, but
you might want to check out that on Instagram. That is an amazing Canadian nostalgia Instagram. And I love dishing back and forth a bit with the creator because it's really fun channel if you want to check it out.
Oh yeah, I definitely will. I need to go on Instagram more. I will go check it out. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And have a good night.
Social media, yeah, we've got it. Send us an email, dopenostalgiapodcast@gmail.com. Twitter, nostalgia dope. Or on Insta, dope_nostalgia.
This podcast is licensed by SOCAN because we believe that artists should be paid for their work.